Hello everyone, my name is Arnaud and I'm with The Third Wish. I am delighted for my first show on A1R Radio Network. You can find me at thethirdwish.net on my Patreon page, The Third Wish. I have been reading cards and being a psychic since I'm 7, and I've been developing my tools using tarot and oracle cards. I was born in France 20 years ago, and I am now in San Francisco, California. I really believe in the manifestation and the law of attraction. And today, for this first show, we will have 3 segments. I wanted to talk a little bit about current events and giving you some prediction that a number of my clients are asking about what is going on with COVID and the US election. So in a little bit, you will hear me talk a little bit about what I think is happening with those events. And then we will do a little bit of an experiment, a psychic experiment. I do have a message for every single one of you, and it might be a different message. And so we will be playing with that and hoping you get something that's very helpful for you. And then in a little bit towards the end, I will take a few callers that we have on the radio. So let's get started. Welcome, everyone. The first topic I really wanted to chat about was a number of questions that I've been getting from my clients recently and frankly in the last couple of months. We do know that COVID-19 has been very hard on people and to some degree has been blocking us to pursue our dreams for the most part. And so the questions that I get most of the time is, Arnaud, what do you see for the disease? What do you see for this pandemic? And so I wanted to share with you a little bit of the information that I'm getting through my readings, but also from my cards when I do a couple guides, and I ask my guides to provide some information on what we can expect. So the first thing is that disease, the virus, will be here for a while. It will continue to impact our lives and the economy. And in a way that is quite destructive and preventing us to move forward in many ways. But it is also an opportunity to reflect. It is an opportunity to look back in terms of what we really want in our lives. And it is an opportunity from that standpoint. My guides also talk about how the virus is coming in waves. It will come on and off, as you can see in some countries going up, the cases going up, going down. But to some degree, we learn how to manage it. A couple other messages that I'm getting is that particularly children and teenagers, despite what we think are at risk, even though they might not show the symptoms, they might be contagious. And finally, there's a lot of unknowns. We know that there are a lot of unknowns with this disease. And some of the information out there might not be right. And so just wanted to pass that on because that was a very strong message from my guides. So to close on that topic, I think it's important that we reflect on what it means for our lives, how to restart, how to reboot our lives. And I also take that as an opportunity, knowing that we will be in a way to manage this much better as the days come. The other aspect is that I wanted to talk about the US election. I get the number of questions from all of my clients in terms of what do you see coming in as we get to November 3rd? I know we have an audience here from the entire world, but even though if it's in the US, it's impacting the entire world. So the first thing I wanted to say about it was that during the time of the election, we will be in November 3rd, and planet Mercury turns retrograde from October 14th to November 3rd, and it ends on November 3rd, even though we have a shadow after that. So the fact that the election is on the last day of Mercury retrograde is definitely a concern. The the retrograde, and we will be talking about that in my next shows, is a factor where we see the planet looks like it's going backward, it's going retrograde. It's not, it's an illusion. But we know that whenever we are in this period, we are facing disruptions. We are facing disruptions in communications. We are facing disruption in electronics, in travel, in the little details that go wrong. And so having an election on that day is a really of a concern to me, because it is probably going to bring a lot of irregularities, confusion, uh, sudden changes, and potentially legal issues that will come. So my prediction for the election day will be it is going to be a big challenge. We are expecting that maybe the result will not come in a manner that will be very clear to everyone. And it has its own set of challenges. I get sometimes a question, particularly who's going to win. And with this challenge, it's very hard to tell. But I got a little bit of information. So for the Biden-Harris team, I do feel that they will have a lot of energy going into the campaign, as they do, but they will also be making some mistakes and feeling challenges, particularly towards the end, where there might be an October surprise there. The Trump-Pence campaign will also actually make some mistakes. So on both sides, it's going to be close. And they will face also some questions towards the end as the campaign and the meaning of the campaign. And so it will be very, very close. With the Trump-Pence campaign, I do see a female, a woman coming into play. She will come towards October, November. And I'm not sure who that woman is. It could be Melania or Ivanka, but she will play a role, a definite role. So I wanted to share that with you. I know that it might be a little bit unsettling to know that it might get very challenging on the election day. But as we get closer, I'll be more than happy to share with you where we are. And I believe in free will. I believe in change. Nothing is ever set in stone. Those are the energy that are coming to me now. And I wanted to share that with you, if that might help you with your own lives and getting a sense of where things are. So now I wanted to do this little psychic experiment with you. I wanted to deliver a message for every single one of you. And I am trying to bring a personalized message. So I will show you 3 flowers. A white rose, like this one here. A red rose, as well as a sunflower. And I would like you to mentally think of the flower you would like to choose. Is it the white rose? Is it the red rose? Or is it the sunflower? And I'm giving you some time to zone in and think of which flower feels more close to you at this moment. And I'm giving you a second to breathe in and think of the flower of your choice. Right. So now that you made your choice, I will be delivering the message. And I have, before this show, picked the tarot cards that are associated with the flower, and I will be delivering this message to you now. So for the very first one, the white rose, the message here is that the card, as you can see here, is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups, if you pick the first one, is about creative opportunities. It's about intuition and messages. It's about curiosity. It's about embracing your inner child. It's about you finding the creativity in your life. You are the stage in your life that you are bringing towards you the playful side, the fun side, the time to create new projects, time to receive, and time for new beginnings. So it's a very strong message of hope. It's a very strong message of a positive message that are also related to birth in the most symbolic manner. Um, and that is the energy that you're embracing right now. So it's very powerful, and I encourage you to start new things, to live your dream, because you are at the stage where you're receiving all this. Now, if you pick the red rose, uh, the card associated with that is the world. The world is a very powerful card. It talks about completing a cycle. You have actually achieved something, and you should be very proud of it. This is about completing that cycle and also taking a step to reflect and a pause to reflect on what you've accomplished and being ready for the next adventure. Um, 21, the world in the tarot, is the last card, and it brings you back to a new cycle. So if you pick the red rose, I would really encourage you to, one, reflect on all the great that you've accomplished, and two, what is next in your adventure. And then finally, the sunflower. If you pick that card and that flower, the card that is associated with it is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, we are talking again about a success. So you're probably in a situation where you have achieved, but you're on top of the mountain. And now it's time to hold your ground. It's time to defend the position that you're in. It's time to think about people that might be jealous of you or people that looking up in what they think with you. So we're talking here about a time of challenges, of perseverance, of competition, and the ability for you to thrive through that and stay on top of that mountain. And so if this is the card you choose, the flower you choose, I really encourage you to brace yourself, to think about your next chapter, but also how you're going to protect and how you're going to defend what you built. It is very, very important. So with that, I hope that those messages resonated with you because they're very important. And next week on the show, we will look at the next sets of messages, but I would definitely would love to hear from you if those messages resonated. Again, you can find me on the Third Witch, thethirdwitch.net, or on my Patreon page, The Third Wish. Now I believe we have a caller, Linda in Panama City, Florida.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm having just a little bit of trouble hearing you, so if I have to repeat myself or...
Good. I can hear you very, very well. I hope you can hear me better now.
Okay.
What is your question, Linda?
Well, not really anything specific. I mean, I was just married 2 months ago, and it's been a really challenging year for everybody, and anything that any kind of information you may have.
Sure.
Maybe financial.
Okay. Stay with me for a second.
Okay.
All right, Linda. I think in the next couple of months, the challenges that you face will continue for a certain degree. But definitely towards the end of the year, when you think about the period around November, I would say, I do see someone
Mm-hmm.
that is coming to help you. It could be a friend, but I feel this is someone you don't know yet. This is someone that will come your way, and at the time he or she will come, you will feel that he or she will help you find ways to resolve some of your problems and bring you some help. On the financial side, I think that you will be surprised. There's some good news coming your way. Again, it's going to take a couple months, but I do see an extra income coming, and it will be towards the end of November, early December. It's related to a new project, or it's related to some money that is coming your way that will really, even though it's not a huge sum, but it will really help you, continuing on with your life. So on both counts, it's very positive, but I would tell you to wait for a few more weeks if you can. We were talking about Mercury retrograde for a second. I was mentioning to you that during the time of the election, about October 14 to November the 3rd, this will be Mercury retrograde. And so maybe this is the time to talk a little bit about what Mercury retrograde represents. It is a challenge for everyone. During the time of Mercury retrograde, we seem to be taking a step back a little bit of what we've experienced with COVID-19. A lot of things go wrong, and they're expected to go wrong. It's a time of redo, rethink, reorganize. And so that time is coming pretty soon. We're in September now, and it's coming mid-October. And so during that time, I really encourage you to think about how to handle this difficult period, but to make the best of it. And for example, if you think about, this time, it is a time to think of not starting new projects. It's really looking back at what you have in your life and how to arrange things in a different way that will help when the end of the Mercury retrograde starts. So right after November 3rd, we'll still be doing a little bit with the shadow of Mercury retrograde. And so it will still be challenging, but as the time will go by, that energy will get dissolved. And so what's really exciting is that when we're done with this, and it's actually true for the election, but it's also true for our personal lives, we will have a period of growth. We will have a period of excitement because we'll be able to get into a new direction. And it's a little bit the message with the virus and the pandemic and the challenges that, for example, Linda brought back earlier, that it's been hard on everyone, but the end is coming, especially when we get to the end of the year. The holidays, particularly, and next year will bring us a way forward that will help us get into 2021 in a much, much better place. So, yeah, we can definitely look at, this year as being a difficult year, but what's coming for 2021 is so much better. And so I think it's one way to look at it and to really feel good about where we are. We have a new caller on the phone, Samantha, in the state of New York. Hi, Samantha.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Do you have a question, Samantha?
Um, I guess my question would be, do I have to have a specific question?
Um, I can do a general reading if you want.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah. Let me look a little bit
Okay.
what's going on in your life. Yeah. Yeah, I think Samantha, I think in your mind there's a lot of questions regarding business and money in particular. Is that right?
What was that? I can't hear it because I can't really hear you.
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Yes,
Yes, I was telling you, I do see that money and business are very strong in your mind. Is that true?
yes.
Yes. I think you had to deal with some challenges in the recent past about money and business. The good news that I see is that I see those challenges being resolved forward and actually pretty quickly. What will happen is that someone is coming to help. I see a man coming, and he does have access to business. He does have access to a number of opportunities for you. And so those issues that you've been having will get resolved, and they will be resolved quickly in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Great, cool.
Good. We have time for another question if you want.
Um, I have a question. Will honestly answer? Obviously, you're going to answer honestly, but will my like depression or whatever is going on with me or wrong or whatever, will that ever go away?
Sure, let me look at it. Yes, it's gonna take a little bit of time, you know. It's gonna get to the end of the year. I'm afraid to get to this phase of stress and difficulties. And I was talking about that a little bit earlier with obviously everything going on at the moment. But the good news that I see is that once you pass this phase, you will feel so much better. I would say starting in January, and this is coming from the point of view of love. There is either a friendship or relationship that is coming your way that's really going to lift your spirits, and you will see the world in a totally new way. And so I think you will be very pleased with, the love that you'll find around you.
Cool. So I'm going to look forward to January. That's going to be what I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to.
yeah, yeah. Hang in there. I know it feels like a long time, but you'll see it will go pretty fast. And you will have friends along the way, but it's really about waiting for the January period to come so that you'll really feel much, much better. There's definitely some very nice surprise coming for you, and you will have people around you that will make you feel so much better.
Thank you. That gives me something to really look forward because I've been a little hopeless for many, many years now.
I'm sorry to hear that, but there is something coming for you, and you will feel much better. I am pretty sure of it. Um, so thank you so much for your question and wishing you the very best, Samantha.
Thank you. I appreciate you calling.
Thank you. And I think we're nearing close to the end of the show. I just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone who attended today. This was an amazing experience for me. This was my first show here on our network radio, and I can't wait for next week and hear your feedback. Please reach out to me on thethirdwish.net or on my Patreon page, The Third Wish. You reach out to me. I'm also available for private appointments, and so grateful for all of you out there. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the very best.